Imagine walking into your local camera store, buying a brand new camera that isn't even supposed to exist yet, and then discovering you can't actually use it. Well, that's exactly what appears to have happened with the Insta360 X6. A retailer in Bucharest, Romania reportedly sold a retail unit before the official launch, giving us our first real look at the final production camera, the retail packaging, and even some new details that hadn't been confirmed before. Ironically, the buyer couldn't actually use it because the current Insta360 app doesn't recognize the X6 yet, which makes perfect sense since software support is usually released alongside the official announcement. That even without turning the camera on, we've learned quite a bit, and some of it confirms what we've been discussing over the past few weeks. First of all, this isn't another blurry prototype or leaked certification document. This is an actual retail unit sitting in a customer's hands. That changes the credibility of everything we're seeing. It tells us the camera is already in stores, retail packaging has been finalized, accessories are boxed up, and distributors have started receiving inventory. In other words, we're no longer talking about rumors. We're talking about a product that's essentially ready to launch. If previous reports are accurate, the review embargo is expected to lift around August 10th, which means we're probably only days away from the official announcement. The leaked photos also give us a clear look at what comes inside the standard retail box. Alongside the Insta360 X6 itself, you get the familiar 114cm invisible selfie stick, a protective pouch, a USB-C charging cable, and a silicone lens cap. Nothing particularly surprising there, but it's nice to see Insta360 continuing to include the accessories that most users actually need straight out of the box. Small things like a proper lens cap make a bigger difference than people realize because, if you've ever owned a 360 camera, you'll know those exposed lenses are by far the most vulnerable part of the entire system. One of the more interesting discoveries comes from the leaked Quick Start guide. It confirms that the X6 is waterproof down to 20 meters without requiring any additional housing. That's already impressive for a consumer 360 camera, but if you need even more protection, Insta360 will once again offer an invisible dive case, extending the waterproof rating to 60 meters. So, for creators filming diving adventures, snorkeling trips, or underwater travel content, it looks like the X6 will continue supporting those workflows without much compromise. The guide also gives us a closer look at the camera's controls. There's nothing radically different here, but it confirms USB-C charging, the physical button layout, touchscreen gestures, and the overall operating system remain very familiar. Personally, I think that's a good decision. One of the strengths of the X5 was that it was incredibly easy to pick up and start using. Reinventing the interface just for the sake of change rarely benefits users, so keeping the learning curve minimal makes a lot of sense. As for the specifications, this accidental retail sale also reinforces almost every major leak we've seen over the past couple of weeks. The retail packaging once again highlights 8K 360-degree recording, up to 140 minutes of recording time in 8K, replaceable lenses 2.0, and the new PureVideo mode for improved low-light performance. The fact that these same features keep appearing across multiple independent leaks makes them increasingly difficult to dismiss. While we still don't know every technical detail, it's becoming clear that these will be the headline upgrades when Insta360 officially unveils the camera. Personally though, the feature I'm most interested in isn't 8K recording, it's PureVideo mode. Resolution has reached a point where most creators are already happy with what current cameras can produce. Low-light performance, on the other hand, remains one of the biggest weaknesses of every consumer 360 camera. If Insta360 has genuinely improved image quality after sunset without making footage look overly processed, that could end up being a much more meaningful upgrade than simply increasing frame rates or recording resolutions. The claimed 140-minute battery life is another feature that deserves attention. Recording long clips in 8K has always been one of the biggest challenges for 360 cameras because high resolutions generate both heat and power consumption. If the X6 can genuinely deliver close to 2.5 hours of recording under those conditions, it would represent one of the biggest practical improvements over the X5. It's the type of upgrade you notice every single time you go out shooting, whether you're traveling, cycling, or filming an event. What's also interesting is how this launch is shaping up compared to DJI's approach. DJI appears to be refining its Osmo 362 with gradual improvements, while Insta360 seems focused on adding noticeable everyday upgrades like longer battery life, improved low-light performance, and a refined replaceable lens system. Neither approach is necessarily better. They're simply solving the same problems in different ways. And honestly, that's great news because competition is exactly what this market needed. The fact that a retailer accidentally sold the camera also tells us something else. Launch is almost certainly very close. Retailers don't receive production stock months in advance. Once cameras start appearing in stores, even by mistake, it usually means the official announcement is only days away. So if you've been waiting before buying a new 360 camera, you probably won't have to wait much longer. For now though, there are still some important questions left unanswered. We still don't know whether image quality has improved as much as the marketing suggests. We don't know how well PureVideo mode actually performs in the real world. We don't know if replaceable lenses 2.0 is easier to use or simply a small refinement. And perhaps most importantly, we don't yet know whether the X6 does enough to justify upgrading from the X5. Fortunately, we shouldn't have to speculate for much longer. If the current reports are accurate, full reviews and official specifications should start appearing within days. Until then, this accidental early sale has probably given us the clearest preview of the Insta360 X6 we've seen so far. So what do you think? Based on everything we've learned over the past few weeks, is the Insta360 X6 looking like a worthwhile upgrade, or are you still waiting to see what DJI does next with the Osmo 362? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, if any more leaks surface before launch, I'll keep you updated right here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.